Hello, everyone. Welcome to another review from Simply Nerdy. I'm your host, Steven. I'm joined today by Jack and Alex.
Hello.
Hello,
We're here
everybody.
to review for you Superman, the latest DC release and the first of the DC universe by James Gunn. For this review, we're going to have a spoiler-free section. We'll give our scores and then a spoiler section after that. So you will be warned when we start getting into spoilers. But overall, what are your thoughts, Alex?
I'll be honest, I loved it.
Sweet.
I don't have much more to say than that. I thought it was a really enjoyable film.
Love it. Jack, what do you think?
Outside of spoilers.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. You can't really, you can't say much, can you?
Yep.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jack.
I'm a little mixed with it. I like the film, but there are some things where I'm kind of like, haven't I seen this before?
Yeah, we're going to get rid of Jack. Jack is off the panel now. I'm just kidding. Opens free
You
speech.
just made me my Lex Luthor, like, origin story, Steven.
His little Lex arc.
I'm just kidding. All right, you were saying you're a little mixed. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I guess I'm a little mixed because I did like the movie, but it feels like, wow, I've kind of seen this before a little bit.
Yeah.
So kind of, that's where I'm at. But I'll give the movie a thumbs up,
Yeah, absolutely.
Just have some worries about the DC universe.
That's fair.
Ooh, I want to hear that in the spoiler section.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So for me, my wife and I went and saw it on a whim. We walked out of that theater loving the movie. We had a great time. It was fantastic. It had great action sequences. It had great emotional moments. It had great character arcs, which in a superhero movie nowadays is hard to find. It was fantastic. It was very well written. And yeah, we had a blast. And it was a surprise to both of us when we walked out saying that was a good movie. We were entertained and we liked the direction it was going and we enjoyed the character arcs. So that was us. Go ahead, Alex.
Yeah, I'll jump in here for a minute. So I'll say that I followed this film for quite a while. It feels like it took a couple years. It
was a slow burn.
Yeah, because let's just say that anybody who's kind of invested a little bit in any of these films, whether it's DC or Marvel, that's kind of the big comic book competitors, we can see what's happened with like this. It's kind of funny how this even happened because technically, I don't think James Gunn would even have helmed this film if Disney didn't originally fire him. Like they kind of handed him off to DC. So I guess it's fair to say that I was expecting this movie to be a lot like Guardians, because Gunn has a style, and I can understand where some people probably prefer a different style. That's fine. I will say, and we're not going to go into this. We don't need to go into the drama, but I have seen the drama behind this movie on both sides, whether it's people who hate the Snyder films or people who just straight up worship them. And I'm just going to say this right now. I'm a fan of the Snyder Superman. I love Henry Cavill.
Oh, yeah.
Thought Snyder Superman was a good movie. It's not perfect. And I say the same thing about Gunn's Superman. It's not perfect, but I thought it was also a good movie. Very different films. We don't need to make this a battle about which one's better. We're just going to talk about why we like this one.
But in the spoiler section, we will get into. I'm just kidding. We won't.
But this is just talking about what we liked about this movie without trying to make it some comparison, because that's what everybody's doing right now, and it's so exhausting.
I bet. I'm glad I'm not listening to that crap.
Yeah, don't. It's a waste.
That'll be in the comparison section.
Right. I'm not going to be hosting that video. That can be done by Jack. Okay. All right. So we're going to get into our scores. So Alex, since I started with you, let's get your score. Then we'll go Jack and then myself.
Man, I don't know if I can't decide if I want to do a 9 or 8.5. So we'll just do an 8.5. That's still a really good rating for myself.
That's a really good score.
Do an 8.5. Like I said, I thought it was great. So
yes. How about you, Jack?
Ooh, that's a tough one for me. Probably like a 7.8.
And for me, I'm going to give this movie a 9.
Nice.
So that puts the official Simply Nerdy score for Superman to an 8.4 out of 10. Very respectable. I'm actually very happy with that score.
That's a good score.
Yep. Great score. Great movie.
Wait, let me change to a 6 so we can get it down.
Steve is not happy with that.
All right. All right. This is your warning for the spoiler section. We are getting into spoilers now. 3, 2, 1.
Snake
right, Alex,
kills
give it to me,
Dumbledore.
Snake kills Dumbledore. That's right. That's Alex, let's get into some spoilers, man.
Okay, I will. Well, let's just not necessarily spoilers, but let's just talk about what this movie had that was good, and we could talk about stuff that we thought wasn't as good. But I saw 3 official Superman films in my life growing up in the theaters. So we got Man of Steel, which was Snyder's. We got, what was it called? Just Superman? It was the one before it.
Yes.
In the 2000s.
Yeah.
Like, and I vaguely
forgot about that film.
I remember some of it,
too.
and believe it or not, some scenes from that had like meme popularity for a minute that Jack and I would remember.
Yeah.
And then there's this one. And so that's like, we're talking like 20 years apart between the 3.
Yeah.
And I could say with confidence that, so Man of Steel does not have Lex Luthor. We saw Lex Luthor in Batman versus Superman, which that's not my favorite. I'm gonna say the Lex Luthor in this film was just gold.
I agree.
That
actor did incredible.
That actor did a good job, and he was truly just a hateful son of a gun.
No kidding.
You know, I liked Luthor, but when are we going to get buff Luthor from the cartoons?
Didn't even know it was a buff Luthor.
I didn't know either. But still, his rage was insane, and his level of like, what's the word I'm looking for?
Pettiness.
No, well that's
oh my gosh,
too. He was very petty. He was obsessed. That's what I'm looking for. He was obsessed with Superman to an unhealthy degree. Obviously,
it was one of the best parts of the movie. I think is at the very end when he's just like, you think that I am trying to get rid of you so I can make this country merge? No, I did all this so I could kill you.
Yes.
Like he straight up just says, I did all of this just so I could kill you. I was like, you know what? That's a good villain right there.
Jeez.
That was a pretty hard line. So I was like, okay, that's freaking
And he
great.
delivered that line very well. You believed him.
And
the way he was so unhinged with his, he let his anger out and just unhinged like crazy. He was scary. He was a good villain.
He was a freaking maniac, and he was completely egotistic maniac. Like he only cared about himself. He was also smart, but just a complete chwad. Like, it's just great. The Lex Luthor in this movie, I think, is unmatched. Like, I can't think of any other Lex Luthor that tops this guy. So
he's so good.
Did a really good job. So let's go into the actor David Cornsweet. His last name's weird. I think it's Cornsweet. So you have him. I think he did a great job as Superman.
I agree. I really liked him as Superman.
Yes,
I think he did good.
It's hard to follow Henry Cavill.
So it's very hard to follow Henry Cavill. Let's be honest. Henry Cavill had the look.
Yes.
Henry Cavill was awesome. And I hope, so there's a running joke I saw on the internet that I hope to see this happen because they've confirmed that this new DC universe is going to continue. It's coming out to, apparently I saw the article just the other day. It's coming out on digital like next week because it's allowing people to watch it if they like Peacemaker season 2, which is tied to it somehow. So we already have another tie to it a month later. But to my knowledge, Gunn and Cavill, they're friends. And Snyder. Even Gunn is friends with Snyder. That's a little fact the internet doesn't want you to know. And so we're like, how funny would it be if they bring Henry Cavill back to the DCU, which is very possible, but they cast him as something else. And I thought, dude, cast him as Zod. Can you imagine how cool that would be if Henry Cavill came back as Zod? Like, I think people would just, you can't say that wouldn't be cool.
Or they can confuse everybody and cast him as the Flash.
Just, we know that's not going to happen.
I'm not doing that one. Dude, that would be sick.
So that there's a theory out there, like, dude, imagine if he came back as Zod. Like, that would be fire. I would love to see Cavill come back. But yeah,
have him come back as some like evil Superman from another universe.
Or if they do like the multiverse, bring in the Cavill.
I really hope they don't do that.
Yeah, we don't need more multiverses.
I hate
well,
multiverses.
Too bad, you're gonna get them.
Going to get it.
I hate multiverses.
It's a comic book.
Marvel broke after that. Okay, we're done.
Anyway, too many multiverses. I know, seriously, right? But there's very different contrast between Cavill and David.
Yes,
Cavill's character was put into a more stoic, dark universe, whereas David was way more upfront, happy, cheerful, hopeful. I guess I should say.
Cheerful, hopeful guy.
Like
it's hard not to.
From what I can tell, I'm not bashing Snyder's vision of Superman, but I think Gunn had the actual vision down as far as how Superman's supposed to be tonally. Because one of the things that a lot of people need to understand is the Man of Steel series, it was dark because it followed the Dark Knight trilogy. And that was paving the way for all these superhero movies are so much better when they're so grounded in reality. And it worked for Batman. I don't think it works for Superman. Not as well as Batman.
No.
So that's just one little nod there. So
that and The Dark Knight is a hard act to follow because they're fantastic movies.
Yeah.
But still, yeah, they nailed the tone of this movie, and it felt like a Superman movie. And to be honest, it was so well executed that I really connected with Superman this time around. And I felt like Superman was pretty well grounded in this story. And wow, I just thought it was very well done.
There's somebody that says something which I fully agree on. This is a movie where you want to cheer for the good guy.
Yes.
The character was just likable. He was likable the whole movie, to be honest. I thought he was a likable character, and at the end, and this is the complaint that I see a lot from this film that I don't get. But so many people, like Ben Shapiro, for example, they're like, he just gets beaten up the whole movie, and I'm going to see a Superman movie. And I'm like, I grew up my whole life being told by every comic book nerd that Superman's born because he's invincible. Yes. And now I'm hearing the opposite. Like, yes, the second I see a film where and the funniest part is the movie starts with this dialogue mentioning how Superman basically for 3 years since he revealed himself was untouchable. And this whole arc of the film is based off the fact that he lost for the first time. And yeah, he kind of gets his butt kicked almost the whole movie. And that's why it was so satisfying at the end when he wins. Because it's just kind of like, you're just kind of like waiting for that hope to finally burst through, and it does. So I think that was exactly what the movie's payoff did well. So.
I agree. That's another point I wanted to make is he actually gets his butt kicked.
Mm-hmm.
And Lex Luthor was super smart in how he does it.
Well,
and wow.
Well, it's so funny because people are like, he's getting his butt kicked. It's like, yeah, by Superman. So how does this argument even hold up?
And to be honest, the way they beat Superman, I thought was hilarious. Where he's just predicting his every move. Because I'm like, Superman really, when you see him fight, is always up front and just punching and like no martial arts or anything. It's always just brute force. So I'm like, the fact that Lex Luthor is beating him that way was kind of hilarious. I thought.
I was like, wow.
The whole plot of like how he's like had to not only clone him, but then create this articulate way to like he's like, I've watched you fight for 3 years and I finally figured it out.
It just proves how much of a psychopath.
Yeah,
Luther
yeah.
really
It was
is.
like
Yeah.
this guy went out of the way to do all that. He had everything all timed out. It was just like, this is actually like unique right here.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's Superman. He doesn't need to know martial arts. He just has to force his way through anything. What's the problem? So when he comes across someone like just as strong as him, he's just a little bit ahead of him. Like that was a unique spin.
Okay. I have something I want to bring up that was like one of the most touching moments of the movie, in my opinion. And that was when Superman is at his lowest point in the movie. He needs to lay low. So he goes to his parents' place, his adopted parents' place. And he's talking to his dad, and he's saying how I didn't forget the whole thing. Alex, do you remember how this goes?
I do remember how it goes.
Okay, thank you. I'll take over.
Yes, I'll take over from here. I'll agree that I think this is one of the best parts of the movie. And before I get into that, let me give some context here. I personally loved the twist they did with Superman's real parents.
Same.
I loved that because I'm just gonna be straight up with you. Like, ironically, people are like, "Oh, I love the realistic Snyder stuff." Well, this was realistic here. Mm-hmm. I don't buy it for a second that this other race that's just completely superior is like, go take care of those people. The fact that they're like, try to bring our race back through your genes. Like, wait, this is believable. Like this is actually something I can believe, and it added this dynamic to the plot because Superman his whole life just thought they were good people, and I'm not saying they were like evil people, but I am saying that his entire vision of what he thought was shattered, and so he had to rely on his earthly parents. Yes, and his earthly parents his earthly dad basically just tells him like, parents aren't made to tell you what to do. We're just giving you the tools. We try to lead you into the right path and give you the tools. I mean, it was just, talk about a touching moment. I thought that was really good. It was like, and he had the realization that, they're not my real parents, but they are my real parents. So I thought that was good.
Oh, that's going to be the plot point of Henry Cavill's Superman is he got the whole message.
Wait, what?
Oh, that's true.
That'll be the plot point of Henry Cavill's Superman, the multiverses. He got the whole message and made a superhero.
Well, I mean, it does work. I mean, we didn't get to see his dad just die to a tornado while he watches it happen. I think.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't want to. I'm not here to bash that film. Sorry. It's just you gotta admit it's funny.
But one other thing that his adopted dad said is that he was proud of him for the person that he has become.
Yes.
He's like yes, you have you can choose who you want to be, and I am proud of who you've chosen to be, or something like that. And I was like, oh my gosh, it was so good.
I'll add to that. So I doubt you guys have watched this, but some people watching this will be very familiar with it because it's relevant here. So there was a TV show that's popular right now called The Boys. And it's a satire comedy, dark comedy spoof on the whole Superman Marvel thing. And the main character in that show, Homelander, is a prime example of how terrifying a Superman that's raised wrong can turn out. And it's probably the best rendition of an evil Superman I think out there is Homelander in this show called The Boys. And people will agree with me. His character is phenomenal, but he's terrifying. And it's not terrifying in a funny way. It's terrifying in a, oh my gosh. So this is the contrast. We had this really dark, serious take. And now we have once again, we're back full circle. We got Superman who has good parents. And it's like you said, it says, I'm really proud of you. And this is the pivot point right here that really could make or break him as a character. Because, I mean, when having your own parents basically tell you that, but then he has his real parents say that, it's like, it's the point of making or break. So that's a significant point to his character, is that he was raised as a good person. And look how he turns out, So it's great. It's freaking. I really like that part too.
You know, part I like the typewriter monkeys.
I was like, what the crap? They're spamming social media. What is it?
He typed hashtag super harem. And super harem, so funny because it's the one scene where he's like in the building right after he got the news, and Green Lantern comes in like, dude, I didn't know you had a super harem.
Man.
That's actually probably my favorite line in the whole movie because I saw this movie twice. There was a weekend where the wife and I were bored. We're like, let's go watch Superman again. I haven't done that with a movie in a while, so that shows how much I like it. But it's when Lex Luthor is playing his whole sob speech on TV, and he's like all acting like, and he's like, yes, I'm scared. He's like giving the show, and then he's like, and we can only imagine how big his super harem is. That was so funny.
Oh man, so good.
Oh man.
Oh,
But yeah, like
Okay.
that.
Something else we haven't talked about yet is we had additional superheroes in this movie besides Superman. One of them was a return character from DC that we've seen before. I don't believe I've seen the other guy.
Who was the return character?
The return character is Green Lantern.
Yeah, remember?
We had a
The
Green Lantern
horrible
movie.
Green
It was
Lantern
really
movie.
bad Green Lantern movie.
I do not. You're
was-
making me remind me of that Ryan Reynolds film. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yes,
That was the one where like every Deadpool at the end you'd like kill himself for doing that role.
So yeah, Steven. Post credit scenes of Deadpool. He kills himself while he's writing the script for that.
That is hilarious.
Oh,
I love it.
So
amazing.
yeah,
But yeah, we totally had a Green Lantern film before. But, this Green Lantern, I liked him.
I actually thought it was pretty funny too. What's funny is I remember having a discussion with somebody about this. So one of the complaints, and I don't think it's a bad complaint. Some people think it's just the movie's pretty goofy because it does. It has a Guardians of the Galaxy feel, right?
But it has a lighter tone too. And I think
It does. It absolutely does. But the thing that I think people need to remember is that the humor and the humor style of Marvel, that was an evolving kind of style to their universe. And Gunn, quite honestly, was one of the biggest contributors to it. So when people were like, oh, it's like Marvel now, I'm like, I honestly think that Marvel became that way because of Gunn. So
Yep.
I don't think you can really throw this at him. It's just his style. And his style has always worked. Because technically, this is the second film in his universe because the first one's his Suicide Squad. Because Peacemaker, John Cena's character, that was in James Gunn's Suicide Squad, he was in this Superman movie as an Easter egg.
Oh.
Showing that those two, so this isn't technically the first film in Gunn's universe, it's the second.
Dang.
And that Suicide Squad was also funny and had a similar tone. The only difference was it was rated R, and so he was able to get a little more, adult. But it was still
Which made sense for that kind of movie.
It does.
Mhm.
And Gunn has come out and said that he has no plans to keep this entire universe consistent with the rating. He says if they're going to adapt a comic that's R, they're going to make it R. If they're going to adapt a comic that's a horror, they're going to make it horror. And this is why Superman is a lighthearted PG-13, because Superman comics are just like that.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
well, I loved it as it was.
let's say this, the soundtrack was fire.
Yes.
Yeah. Soundtrack was fire. Like
the
music was really good. So,
what about those other two heroes?
So we had Green Lantern,
Mr. Terrific.
Mr. Terrific.
That's what I think it's Hawk Girl, is
Hawk
it?
Girl. Yep.
Hawk Girl didn't do anything.
Agreed.
Except drop that one guy.
Drop the one guy, which was hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, that was a hilarious scene, but I'm like, Hawk Girl is kind of just there. And then,
yes, I agree. It's just there.
Here's the thing. Supposedly, I'm fairly confident on this. I think, well, it's weird because I'm hearing different things, so don't quote me on this, but supposedly James Gunn's writing the sequel to this film, but I was told that next year's movie's Supergirl. So you remember at the end, you saw that chick?
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's funny because a big complaint for this movie is they're like, oh, she was so disrespectful to him and calling him the B word and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, but you guys are forgetting that these movies are going to be linked to future movies. And like, what if he's just trying to make her seem that way? And then in her film, she grows and gets developed.
Yes,
like,
exactly.
I don't see the problem here. Like maybe
Nope.
she's supposed to be a brat for a minute.
Yes,
So
agreed.
And maybe they're doing that with the other ones, like Hawk Girl. Maybe she'll get a movie. I don't know. I will say this right now. I'm not holding my breath that this is just going to become a sprawling, successful universe like Marvel once was. But hey, if the movies stay on this fun to watch, this quality, I'll keep seeing them. I'm for it.
Same. I'm all for it. Yeah,
keep
same
it up.
thing.
I guess supposedly it's not making as much money as it probably should to make even. So
Superman?
Yeah.
So
I've heard that Superman made more money than the Marvel this year.
It did.
Well, Marvel is turning out to be a complete bomb.
That's true.
Which I mean,
so
I
I'm
don't
a
think
little
it deserved it, honestly, but Superman, I guess, is also kind of not making as much money either.
Let me put it this way. So here's the thing. Superman, yeah, I think they would have wanted it to make more money. But James Gunn has come out and said the movie doesn't need to make. And here's the thing: people just don't believe him. So who do you trust, right? But people are, oh, it needs to make $700 million to break even. James Gunn came out and said, no, that's not true, and it's close to. It's going to make a little over $600 million. Plus, here's the thing: people need to realize, Man of Steel was actually considered a bomb for its time. But
what?
It was Man of Steel the same year. I'm fairly confident on this. The same year Man of Steel came out, it made I'm trying to remember, it was something over 700, maybe 900 million. But the same year, Iron Man 3 made 1.5 billion.
Yep.
And so here's the thing. This is the first time a DC film beat a Marvel movie.
Yes.
Since this whole thing. And it's made more than more than all four of the Marvel films. It's actually made more than most of the DC films, including Man of Steel, domestically. On a domestic level, it's a success. It just didn't do that good worldwide. So it's kind of going to be up in the air. How are they going to handle it? My theory is they saw that this was kind of a movie to start a universe, and considering it has good word of mouth, good reviews, they're probably going to go with it, and they're going to hope that it's going to pick up momentum. That's really what's going to matter, is can this pick up something? So if we're going to say it was a booming success or not, it's also going to depend on its DVD and streaming sales. Sometimes movies that don't do so good, they go right into streaming, and then they make a crap ton of money. So that's also going to be a big factor into this.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I'm not going to say it was a huge success, but I don't think it's the failure either that some people were hoping it would be. It's not.
Yeah. When the other Superman goes in the black hole, he's joking after it. And I'm like, why didn't he care more about that? This is a guy that was saving squirrels. So I'm like, all these people, I got mad at the Snyderverse for having, him kill Zod. I'm like, wait, but this guy just kills his clone and then nobody cares and he doesn't care. And I'm like, am I the only one that's noticed that? I don't know. So maybe it's just not a big deal.
I can say that you're not the only one who mentioned that. I saw someone mention that.
Yeah,
I've heard that.
Because I know that was a huge, huge thing that a lot of people hated about the Snyderverse was that he killed Zod.
It's funny because it's some of these Snyderverse fans forgot all the complaints that movie had. Because that was a big one. That was a big one. And I had no problem with it when he did.
I had no problem with it either. Too.
I was like, Zod was going to kill those people.
Yeah, I'm like, it was either Zod or a bunch of innocent people. So,
right,
exactly. And this clone Superman was kind of the same way.
So I feel like you have a good justification.
Well, that's just what I'm saying. Is that Henry Cavill? Is crying afterwards.
Right.
It's really devastated. I had to do it, and this guy's cracking jokes. I was kind of like that. It felt a little weird after he was saving squirrels, but whatever,
So I think that's not a bad complaint if you consider what you just mentioned there. Maybe they should have thrown something in there where it shows a little more regret, a little more upset.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with him doing it though.
Same.
Because like,
Yeah,
it was
I
either,
mean, obviously is
it's
yeah,
either you either get rid of this guy or the whole world's eaten by a black hole.
yeah.
Plus,
Which is I'm like,
regret-
I don't care about either one, but I'm like,
Fair enough.
right.
I don't know. Just,
But the regret would have made it a more complete character arc for him.
yeah,
It would have been like a more, to show that remorse would be more human connection with Superman. It would have been better.
I don't think that's
So,
a bad.
I agree with you.
I don't think that's a bad critique. That's fair.
Me neither. That's
Yep.
very fair. Let us know down in the comments below what your critiques are, and we will pound them into oblivion. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Anyway, I think that's all we have to say. Unless you have anything else, but
Did you like Crypto?
we haven't talked about the dog.
We haven't talked about the dog. I'll just say this. real
I
quick.
liked Crypto.
I-
It was
I-
awesome.
My wife loved Crypto.
Of course she
Loved
did.
him. I know. Right? My wife's a big dog person, and they did a pretty good job of making that a really cute dog. So,
Yes, they did.
Yep.
And they did a really good job of having him be a dog. Because there's times
I
where he
was
doesn't
waiting
listen to
for him to,
Superman.
I was waiting
It's
for Crypto to kill somebody though, because he's like playing rough with Superman, but what
Yes.
he does with somebody unpowered, and
I mean, he does throw Lex around.
yeah, he
Yes.
did.
That's the lucky
He
part.
did throw Rex. I will say one scene that I actually really liked, and I even liked it more the second time I saw it, was how like Lex had this plan to kill him with the girl, which is fill his lungs, remove all the oxygen. So he just goes in the air up into the stratosphere just to crash down again. That was a cool scene.
Agreed.
There was a lot of stuff in this movie that stood out other than just him punching people.
Yeah,
Yes.
I was telling Alex that I'm like, this plan made no sense to me because can't he just go in space in unlimited time? Doesn't he? Does he even need oxygen?
So do you
I
remember
don't
them?
understand how Superman works.
Do you remember them mentioning that part? They covered that.
Did they?
Ooh.
Yeah, they did. When it was happening, the guy said, "Can't he like hold his breath for hours?" And Lex says, "Yeah, but not if we force it all out." Like it was going in his lungs. So they covered that part.
Oh.
Yep, that was their thing.
Oh, okay.
Luther.
You got to give the writers credit.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Jeez, man.
'Cause, yeah,
Does he
you're
go
right.
to other planets? How fast does he go in space then?
I
He's
guess
got to go like fast in the speed of light. I mean, I guess in the movie, he turned the Earth back in time by flying around it. So I guess, yeah, that was what happened in one of the old movies.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm afraid none of us are big enough Superman nerds to answer that question for you.
Nope. Sorry. I loved this one.
No, I thought the movie was great. I'm actually gonna get it when it comes out on DVD. I loved it.
So I'm probably gonna buy it digitally.
I'm loving it.
This month. I'll probably wait till next month.
I'll probably and for all you Snyder fans, I'll probably watch Man of Steel again soon because I love that movie too. So
Yes, they're all
I
great.
rewatched like the scene where Cavill first flies, the music, and that scene is just awesome. Like freaking great scene. So I think Superman overall has a pretty good run. Like there's not really that many terrible. So I don't know. You could make an
the
argument.
2001 wasn't that great.
Yeah, it's really. I say that movie was more forgettable rather than terrible.
Yeah.
Yes.
But people
Then
argue
there's
that.
the one where he throws the S at.
Well, I was gonna say the Superman 2 and 3 are known to be pretty bad. So,
Yeah.
so maybe we got 3 solid Superman films. You got the 78,
Yes.
you got Man of Steel, and you got James Gunn's Superman. That's
Yep.
not terrible.
Nope.
That's not terrible.
But I will say, with confidence, I think this is my favorite one.
No?
Just throwing that out there. In my personal opinion, this is the best one. Let us know down in the comments below what you think. Do you agree with me or do you agree with Jack over here? You should have given the rating a 6. Let us
Yeah,
know.
let's go down to a 4. All right.
In the comments, go down to a 4. Anyway, if you like this content, be sure to subscribe, like, and ring the notification bell so you're notified whenever we do another review. We have a lot more coming up, including Donkey Kong Bonanza. So, until next time, guys,
Keep it nerdy.
keep it nerdy.
Keep it nerdy.